Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Great to be with you. I've been having an excellent day today. I woke up on time, did yoga, went into town, met new people, had some good food, drank some different teas. Even some children in the local town wanted to run up to me and play with me and chat in Mandarin with me. And I just felt so positive when I came home that I actually felt so full and happy, and I didn't even want lunch. It was a funny thing, but I just decided to have a cup of coffee, get back out, do some exercise. I just did pull-ups for about an hour, hour and a half. I did about 130 pull-ups, shot some videos, and now I'm just kind of like vibing high. I wanted to get on here and shoot a long form video and talk to you guys about self-belief, because while I was out there just now, I was thinking, what does this all come down to? What is the common denominator here? And I think in a certain sense, it's self-belief. If you think you are good enough, if you think you are worthy, if you think you deserve a brighter future, if you think you really want to help other people, then more naturally, you put in the work on a daily basis. But if, whether consciously or unconsciously, you don't have those kinds of thoughts, then you're tending towards not putting in the work. You're tending towards giving into superficial entertainments. You're giving into junk food, lounging around, too much time wasting. So, how we see ourselves in our core and the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves, super important. That everything sort of spreads out from that and informs our actions, and then our actions reshape our interpersonal relationships with other people and the reality all around us. So I want to talk to you today about self-belief, and don't run away if you think it's such a simple topic, I don't really need to think about it. Don't run away if you think this topic is too abstract, it can't really be pinned down, I don't really want to talk about it. Let's stick with this topic. Let's go into it. Let's try to tease it out. And if this video is not going to be comprehensive. If you have different ideas from me to add, put them in the comments. If you don't agree with something I said, or you had a question about something I said, put it in the comments. Through discussion with other people who care about topics like self-belief, you will start to build self-belief. And that's one of the main points we're going to get into today. So I want to talk about 3 points with you today. The first one is self-talk. The second is sort of like recording, journaling, writing. And the third is your associations. And these are this is not comprehensive. These are just the 3 I've thought of that I want to talk to you about today. So the first one has to do with self-talk. I wonder if you are the kind of person who thinks you should be kind to yourself and compassionate towards yourself, or are you the kind of person who thinks your self-talk needs to be really severe, really critical, really tough? I've experimented with both of these throughout my life. Now, for most of my life, I've tended towards the gentleness, the compassionate way for myself and for others. But I've, through close observation and experimentation, I've realized over the years that that can breed a certain kind of weakness. That way has its pros and it has its cons. And the tough-ass way, the strict way, also has its pros and its cons. We need both. You need to learn how to use both. If you have been trying hard for a long time, from day to day, to build yourself up, and maybe you're not quite getting the results that you want or expect. In a situation like that, yes, I would be kind to myself. I would try to talk myself up. I would say, just keep going. Don't give up yet. You're on the right path. You're doing a good job. On the other hand, on days where I may be being a little bit lazy and I know I can do more, and we all know when we're doing that. We all know when we're taking the easy road today. On days like that, I think it's really important to not be gentle, not be kind, not be compassionate to yourself. Don't give in on those days when you're trying to just have that extra bowl of ice cream, lounge around, watch Netflix. You know, character is what we do when nobody's looking. And on those days, it's important to build your character by speaking in a tough way to yourself and getting outside for that workout. The other day, I jogged for a half hour in the pouring rain, and I was angry at the rain. I was so looking forward to my jog that day. I could have just stayed inside. Nobody would have known if I exercised that day or not, but I said, no way, I'm out there. And the only thing I worried about was maybe destroying my phone, because my phone was in my pocket and I was getting totally soaked. But days like that are when the best pride is going to be built in yourself. Those are the days that count the most. But it all comes down to how you talk to yourself and what you do when nobody's looking. You know, only you can hear yourself talk, right? But part of the reason why I'm putting out these videos and why I speak to you the way that I do in my shorts is because I want to start to share with you how I really talk to myself. I'm not going to be talking to you guys in ways that I don't talk to myself. Sometimes I talk to myself in a strict way, and sometimes I talk to myself in a compassionate way. And I'm actually trying to get better to talk to others in a polite way, yes, but also in a strict way, because I think sometimes people need that. Okay, so the first thing is be aware of your self-talk. Practice the right self-talk for the right situations from day to day. Okay, second has to do with journaling, writing, recording, reflecting. This is super important because if you don't have notebooks, if you don't have journals, if you don't have some habit trackers, then everything just remains up here in your head, and it's very amorphous. It's hard to be concrete. It's hard to visualize and understand on paper what's going on. When you start to take that step to write stuff down and record stuff, that, I can't tell you how important that is, because you're going to be able to look back upon weeks, upon months of what you've been doing, and you're going to be able to analyze that. You're going to be able to look for where your weaknesses are, where the gaps are, where the strengths are, when you tend to give up, when you tend to work harder. You can analyze the times of days, and you know, if you've been tracking some habits for a while and reflecting on how you've been improving and how proud of yourself you are, that does build up your self-talk. And then on days when you feel like giving up or you're feeling a bit down, you can look back to that record. You can see how much you've done. It doesn't have to be that long. Even a few weeks will make you feel proud and excited, and you won't want to miss today. That's the importance of that record. And I think, you know, nobody's going to care about your life if you don't. If you take care to write in a daily journal, or even a week, start by doing a monthly reflection, move to a weekly reflection, move to a daily reflection. Definitely get in the habit of daily habit tracking. It's not that hard once you get used to it. And you may think, this is boring, this is robotic, it's taking away the joy from just me doing whatever I want. Well, success is boring, first of all. So if you are feeling bored, just tell yourself you're bored of success. Okay? When you have those records, when you have all that stuff written down, when other people see that, if they get the chance to see that, your close friends, your family, and you say, when they see that, they're going to say, whoa, this guy really cares about himself and his life. And by extension, he cares about me. Because when you live in that way, when you show that level of dedication, and you would even record what you're doing on a daily basis, it shows people you are on another level and you're not playing around and you're not leaving things to chance. It shows you're meticulous. It shows that you're disciplined. And again, it gives you something to analyze. It gives you something to noodle over. If you've not written anything down, you cannot do that. Your memory of what's happened from day to day gets foggy. You will not remember what you did or didn't do. So I now have about maybe 3 or 4 years of reflections and habit tracking, and I'm really proud of that. And some of my idols and teachers that I look up to have 10, 15, 20 years or more of doing that all in journals. I think it's so important to do it on paper, do it on a journal. Get away from screens, get away from distractions, take out a fresh sheet of paper. There's nothing like it. It really moves the soul, especially if you're feeling confused and you've lost your way a little bit. Journaling can get you out of it. Okay, and if you think having a journal or having a diary is for girls, just look up Marcus Aurelius. His journal is one of the most famous in the world. It's called Meditations, okay? The last thing I'll leave you with is a quote that I love: keep a log or lose your command. Ship captains keep a log. If they don't keep an accurate log, they lose their job. They're gotten rid of. If you don't keep a record, it shows you deserve to lose command of your own life. And also don't forget Socrates. I believe it was Socrates. An unexamined life is not worth living. Through your writings and through your records, you examine your life. Third, your associations. Okay, your associations are so important. You need to start to weed out and distance yourself from people who drag you down, people who complain a lot, people who make excuses a lot, people who are not striving on their own path to improve their lives and realize their own dreams. If those are the kinds of people around you, you're better off alone, especially until you have built the internal strength to be able to handle such people and transform such people without being dragged down by them. Okay, that's the important thing. So you need to start to surround yourself with positive people, constructive people, people who are trying to be better on a daily basis. And if you can find such people in your real physical location, in your real physical surroundings and community, that is ideal. That is the best. If you can't, remotely, try to find virtual groups, virtual mentoring teams, and coaching teams that you can join. Put some skin in the game if you must. Pay these guys that you admire, who you watch online, because again, that helps commit you a little bit, because you've put the skin in the game, you've put some money down. A lot of people these days, I find that they're too cheap. They want a better life for free. They want great self-improvement for free. And it just shows you don't really care that much about investing in yourself. The way you show you care about yourself, the way that you show you love yourself is that you invest in yourself and you're willing to pay money to build yourself. Okay, that's how you communicate. That's how much that you care. Is by actually spending some money on things besides your Netflix subscription and your Xbox or PS5 games or whatever. I mean, people spend so much money on gaming, which is not going to improve their lives at all. We're too addicted to these superficial entertainments. But I digress. Be careful of who you are spending time with, okay? Associations, super powerful. I mean, you become like your associations. And again, physical location, physical people, and having real presence is best, because you get the energy exchange that much better. If you can't, remote groups, virtual groups are fine. If that's not possible, go to books. Read and digest and process and journal on deep books about the lives of great men and women who you admire. I do all of these things, by the way, and currently I'm reading a book about U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant. It's a 1,000-page book by a Pulitzer Prize winning author. It's not light reading, but I do it before bed. My dad and I always used to joke about such books. When we would have a big book, we would say to each other, "A little light reading before bed?" I said, yeah. But actually the story, it is riveting. I am loving it. And I'm thinking to go on to some other presidents by the same author. Maybe I'll read George Washington next. But your associations, I mean, I can't say enough about them. And if I can be that person for you, I would love to be. Now on my channel, here's what I'm focusing on. Personal development and motivation, leadership, game design, language learning. This is the stuff you're primarily going to see on my channel. So I talk about all kinds of things. I mean, in the personal development and leadership field and motivation, we talk about habits and systems. We talk about scheduling and time management and planning. We talk about all the things necessary to build a truly great life. I think in today's world, there is so much chaos, and our societies are more and more fractured. It seems like on a daily basis, things are getting more fractured and more polarized, and social media is, I think it's making it worse in many ways, not better. I hate to say that. I do have hope social media could become better. It can be used in positive ways. I'm striving to use it in a positive way. But I think for most people who are ignorant and unaware, it becomes a detriment to their lives, saps up all their time, and fills them with fear and anxiety, and polarizes their attitudes about their fellow brothers and sisters and fellow countrymen. So we have to be vigilant these days. We have to be on point, and we can leave no stone unturned if we're going to actually care about our lives, improve our lives, hit every area, and in that way be worthy and be capable of lifting the other people around us and serving and educating and leading people around us of all ages. Sometimes older people are going to need your help. Sometimes younger people are going to need your help. But are you going to be ready when you're called? When your number is called, will you be ready? I want to know. And I doubt it. I doubt it. Most people that I see out there, I doubt it, and I often get disappointed by what I see when I'm out and about and closely observing other guys my age. Okay, so I hope this video helps. The 3 things to summarize again: your self-talk, what you write down, record, and reflect on, and your associations. By these ways, your self-belief, it's no longer rocket science or voodoo science. The pathway is clear. The blueprint is clear. Use all of these things. Again, with the self-talk, prayer is great. Affirmations are great. Guided meditation's great. Use all of these tools, and they are very practical. They are not some frou-frou, homeopathic, peace and all that kind of, airy fairy stuff. Not at all. They have practical usages. They've been employed since ancient times by the best of humanity. Wishing you well in all that you do. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye for now.